is the best podcast on the planet.
All right, so with all the bickering that we've been hearing, there's political bickering and there's social bickering. And what other kind of bickering have we heard about on social media? There's all kinds of, you're doing that with the stock market. Shame on you, that kind of thing. All this bickering kind of led me to think of a question to ask out there. If you had the power to change anything in the world, anything at all, maybe you've gone throughout the known universe and collected all the stones and you have them on your special glove like Thanos, and you can change anything at all. What would it be? What would you change if you had the power to change? Right? I'll tell you one thing. Dale and I have talked about, before we got started here, we talked about that we're restarting diets. And if you notice, you can look at Dale and see he's being very successful with his diet. Is that a regular Coke?
No, that's seltzer water.
Oh, okay. All right.
Polar. Okay. The only kind I drink.
It's not a sponsor, but nice shot. But one of the things I'd be is like, why is it that the foods that are good for us taste like crap? And the things that we're not supposed to be eating, the foods that are not good for us, they taste so good. Why do cheeseburgers taste good, and pizza and fried chicken and
carbs?
Yeah, why does it taste so good? And the green leafy vegetables, they're just like, why?
And they're expensive too.
I don't know.
All the good stuff's expensive.
Okay.
You can eat cheap.
It's one of those, if you don't buy all of the other crap, your money is better well spent on the more expensive stuff, and it's really not more expensive. It's just one of those, it looks more expensive up front, but it's really not. And also, to answer the question, Seth, it's those people. They have made it. They have genetically engineered it to be delicious.
But I'm pretty sure those people are God.
God did not make the cheeseburger and genetically engineered foods.
I'm pretty sure it's not some dude in a white lab coat somewhere going, I'm going to make this cheeseburger so good.
I bet they do.
They've discovered it by happenstance that, look, it makes people want to eat it more. Great.
No, don't.
Everybody knows that God made tots. They're delicious.
I made tots. And on the 8th day,
God made tots.
God said, you know what they need? They need those little crispy crowns, the little flat ones. Them good.
He did make Chick-fil-A, so yeah.
Okay, so I'm kind of joking there, but it's like seriously.
That's for Rizzle.
So that would be your answer.
Why is it so hard that things that are so good for us just, I don't know. It's like, okay, I'm developing a taste for it. Do you like Brussels sprouts?
Ooh,
I do. Much.
They're not my fave.
I'm covered in cheese. I'm okay. But
I've never had Brussels sprouts covered in cheese.
Yeah, me either. If you have them pan fried where they're kind of burnt and crispy with, a lot of butter and salt. They're delicious.
Maybe some bacon and cheese. Sure.
Yes, bacon. Absolutely bacon. And you know what else is really good? Spinach. When you saute it in butter with some salt and put some bacon in it, it's delicious.
So really, we just like bacon.
Yeah. So, that's what I would change. If I had the power to change anything, that's one of the things that I seriously would change is that food that's good for us would taste great anyway. Well, what would you change? What is something that you would like to change? If you snap your fingers and boom, it's changed.
I was really thinking about this as like world peace, but that's too generic. But I don't know. It's really hard to say because there's so many different things. But I think the easiest, or maybe the one that would cover a lot of ground, would maybe be selfishness, human selfishness.
Okay.
And obviously it wouldn't fix everything, but it would fix a lot.
It would fix a lot.
And it would help a lot of things. And it would help people to generally get along a little more. I mean, people are they're still going to disagree, but they're going to at least do it nice ways.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know.
All right. So yeah, selfishness. I mean, think about it. If you eliminated selfishness, a lot of the problems that we see from North Korea, that'd kind of go away. You know, poverty would be help. You know, you wouldn't have the left yelling and screaming that we should murder all the rich people and take everything they have and give it to the poor. If we weren't selfish, we would be having the inclination to, if you have two coats and you see somebody who needs one, give it to them because it's the right thing to do. Not because the government is telling you to, but because it's, wait a minute, I've heard that written somewhere. There's a book somewhere that has that, isn't there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
What about you, man?
I would probably, it'd go along the lines of Holly, which it would probably tie in with it. I'd want everybody to have common sense because right now it seems like only certain people, and I know, I mean, I'm not saying I'm the only one with common sense, but I'm just talking about with everything going on, people are just like, they've gone off the deep end on everything, you know? Everybody's that cancel culture. That is not common sense.
You know, it's funny you say that because I was just telling Dale I don't want him on the show anymore.
Okay.
I don't like the fact, you know, you can see you can see that he's lost weight, you know, so he's
I'm gone.
Oh, look. Anyway, and what was the other thing? You've lost weight. I didn't want you. I said I didn't like you anymore for that. What was the other thing?
he doesn't have Disney Plus.
Oh, that's right. He doesn't have Disney Plus. The man has not watched. You have not watched
It's
one
like $8 a month. It's like
I don't have no problem with it. I just haven't done it.
Okay. All right.
But I get it free because I'm a Verizon customer. I get it for free for like 6 months or something like that. I think.
And you still haven't got it. Why do you hate Disney so much? What is it that you have against Disney?
I don't watch a lot of TV, so that's why I haven't done it.
What do you mean you don't watch? You don't watch television? What's the matter?
I watch television, but not a lot.
You're a busy man. That's why.
I do have Netflix. I got Netflix and Amazon and da-da-da.
Netflix is raising its rates. You might as well just get Disney Plus.
Okay. All right. Done. After I'm off with you guys, I'm going to do it.
That's the other thing I would change. Wait a minute. You just gave me a great idea. I am sick and tired of 87 different subscription services. We've got the Netflix, we got the Disney Plus, and now there's some other show that somebody recommended and said, well, where is it? Oh, it's only on HBO Max. It's only on the HBO service. Well, no, I don't want to have 18 different subscription services.
And there's Peacock
and be paying for cable. Ones. I want one. I want one.
Well, and that's why people liked cable, you know, back in the day.
Well, how is Holly going to watch? How's Holly going to watch her iCarly reunion if she don't have the Paramount Network? I mean, that's the only place she's going to be able to watch it.
I mean, it is on Disney.
No, it's going on this network Paramount. I read it.
Dale,
more than I know.
Dale,
first thing I said, Holly's going to love that. Yes.
Oh.
Dale.
Okay.
Yes.
Why do you know that there's an iCarly reunion show coming up?
And what network is on? Because I didn't know that.
Because I'm in radio and I get the prep sheet.
Oh, yeah.
Bingo.
Sure, but that's
and the kind of radio
of all the things.
It is a guilty pleasure though. The iCarly show.
That's a legitimate response because the radio that I do, I come up with this kind of show material and they're like, we don't do that here.
Well, we don't. That don't mean I didn't read it. We didn't talk about it, but that doesn't mean I didn't read about it.
Yeah.
You also, though, you hit on it. You've given me another idea. You say common sense. You would change to where everybody would have common sense. And then it literally would be common, right? It would be common sense.
Yeah, because right now common sense is not common. And so that's why I was like, I feel like that's a misleading term because it's not common. And it's hard to define, too, because it's like it's common in our country, but, maybe somebody living on the East Coast or something may not have the same sense that I do. You know what I mean? So it's hard.
Let me give you an example, like the whole $15 wage thing. I'm not going to get into a deep political part about it, but I mean, I'm not the best at math. Yeah, I'm not the best at math, but I know that if an employer is going to pay you $15, they're going to have to go up on their prices. I mean, just the way, but other people don't see it that way.
Well, and I work in accounting. I'm just going to say, I have clients that you see their stuff and I'm like, they go up on their wages, you see how much it's going to cost them at the end of the year. I'm like, you're fine. And you're not going to have to raise your prices. You have so much in capital, you're fine. Now, yes, some company, depending on how they're running their company, sure, they're going to have to raise prices or on their services or whatever. But there's a lot of companies out there that I'm like, you're fine if you need to raise your rates a little bit or your wages. It's fine.
Here's a hint about companies running themselves. Look at all the companies that went under during the quarantine because none of these companies apparently save for a rainy day. They're always spending, or you know what I mean. They're
well, there's a lot of small businesses that are operating basically quarter to quarter. They don't have a huge amount of cash in reserve to handle an emergency. They basically are making enough to meet their expenses as the quarter and the year goes along. So when something comes along that seriously disrupts their ability to do sales or services or whatever, they don't have the cash flow to keep going. But look at the normal households. How many people have enough cash in your bank right now that you could go 90 days without getting a paycheck?
Yeah, not a lot of people can save like that.
Right. Would you, and so that's why businesses, when they start having a financial hardship, they will borrow money in order to make payroll. I know one individual who had his own business, had one of his major clients go under, and they went out of business so that they were no longer buying his products and services. And he struggled. He's like, okay, we got to find clients to make up. And they went out and they tried. And in the meantime, he was making payroll by putting it on his own credit cards. He was borrowing money like crazy personally, just so he could keep funding the company. And eventually it didn't work out quite well.
Yeah.
It turned out to be a kind of a bad situation. But I mean, that's why companies, a lot of small businesses just don't have the operating capital.
Yeah, some of them don't. Some of them do, and they just don't, which baffles me. But there's a lot of small businesses that just can't. There's no possible way.
So,
but yeah.
This is a really good thing, is that I would like to see, if we're going to make decisions like this, one of the things I would change is have it be in a way that companies that can afford to do more, those are the ones that are talked to, not forced, but talked to about, hey, let's do something to raise these wages. And the companies that cannot do it aren't forced to. It doesn't make any sense to me for one company to do something that is seen as a benefit to their employees to actually put another company out of business. That to me doesn't sound like a good plan. That sounds vindictive. It sounds like, hey, we're helping some, but we're crushing others.
Yeah, but even just talking to a company, I work with companies a lot, and you talk to them just about basic things like, hey, that's illegal. We can't do that. That might bring on an audit, right. Or whatever. And what happens? Nothing. They're so set in their ways. They don't change. And so it's like, I know sometimes generally people might change, but overarchingly, if they've been doing something the way they've been doing it, they're not going to change. If they pay people a certain wage, they're going, why am I going to raise their wages by $4 an hour? They don't deserve it. The deserve word comes in. And so then that comes up, and it's a whole other thing. So it's a hard situation. And I agree with you, Seth. For those companies that can't, what are they going to do? They either fire their employees because they can't make payroll, and then it takes a hit on their business, or maybe they cut hours, whatever they're going to do. But the companies that can, hello, come on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm in a position financially that, let's say I went down to Bob's Burger Joint, right? And my favorite cheeseburger was $5. Excuse me. And in order for him to be able to raise the salary of his employees, or his hourly pay rate to his employees to meet this $15 criteria, let's say he had to raise that cheeseburger to $6.50 per cheeseburger. I, for one, okay. An extra $1.50 for me to buy the cheeseburger is not going to break me. I'm still going to go and get a cheeseburger from Bob.
Especially if you like Bob's cheeseburger and he's got a good product and you've been going there for years.
Right. And here's where the competition comes in. Jim has a really good cheeseburger. He sets up shop 3 or 4 doors down and says, I got a really good cheeseburger and I'm going to sell it to you for $4.50. Well, guess what? I'm not going to go to Bob anymore. I'm going to go down to Jim's cheeseburger joint and eat his cheeseburger, unless they're terrible. I'm not going to, I'm going to pay more for good. I'm not going to pay. I'm not just because less is less expensive. I don't do that.
Yeah. And that's
so
basic competition.
it's just there can be an equilibrium, but one of the things I would love to see is the capitalist way find the economic equilibrium on its own without the corruption, without the taking advantage of the system, without, like you said, you've got clients that are breaking the law and you're like, you can't do that. Well, I've been doing it for 20 years. I've
never gotten audited. I'm like,
right, well,
okay.
When you do,
yeah,
I told you so. I would really like to be able to snap my fingers and get rid of stupid. I'm not talking just your, oops, I didn't understand. I'm talking stupid. You know what I'm saying? Should I give you some examples of the kind of stupid that I'm talking about?
Are you being rude against people with mental illness, Seth? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I don't. There's a difference between being stupid and ignorant. Okay. Ignorant is you're not aware of the facts and you haven't been informed yet, right? You're not there's a rule that says ignorance of the law is no excuse. If you don't know that the speed limit is 35 miles an hour, it's no excuse when you get caught doing 45, right? You might be ignorant of the speed limit, but it's no excuse. Stupid is when you do know the difference. Stupid is when you see the 35 mile an hour sign and you ignore it and you keep going or you even accelerate. That's being stupid. Okay.
Which none of us have ever done that. We don't do that at all.
Oh, no, I'm a wonderful driver.
Me too.
Anyway, so this actually happened, right? I've got a collection of stupid people and what they've done. This one is a girl in this guy's geology class once said that she was really happy that she got a 40% on her exam. And he was like, why are you happy you got a 40% on your exam? And she said, because all I need to do now is get a 40 on the next exam and I'll have an average of 80.
Oh,
now that's the kind of stupid I'm talking about.
Is that, or is she just ignorant of how an average works in mathematics?
No, that's pretty stupid, don't you think?
It depends. Maybe she never grasped that in math. We don't know.
All right.
Yes, Seth.
Yes, so come on.
She's in a college geology class. You don't think that they've covered averages before then?
People in college just not good at maths.
Okay.
Maths.
All right. All right. Here's another one. There was a guy in college talking to a roommate, and they were watching old TV shows, and VeggieTales came across, right? And the other person said, no. We can't watch VeggieTales. My parents never let me watch VeggieTales when I was a kid because vegetables aren't supposed to have souls. Now he's serious. Okay, he is absolutely serious.
I think that's funny.
No. I can't watch this because vegetables don't have souls. I'm kind of glad about that because I've seen what happens when I cut up a tomato. It's not pretty. Poor tomato. Anyway, it's all.
I think.
Speaking of a tomato, one of the examples I've got here is a girl. And I'm not picking on women. Maybe it sounds like I am, but I'm not.
Yeah. Yes. Thing.
All right.
Sure, Seth. Sure.
Came in and
Seth,
ordered at a restaurant.
When you're reading when you're reading the examples, if it says woman, just say man. It's easy. You go back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay?
We don't know.
Okay. So this person of unknown origin went to a restaurant and said, okay, ordered a breakfast dish that had fresh sliced tomatoes. and said, please don't bring me any tomatoes. Don't even put them on the plate. I'm deathly allergic of tomatoes. If you put a tomato on the plate, I'll die. And so what does she smother her hash browns and eggs in?
Ketchup.
That's exactly right.
You said she.
Oh, so they're not okay.
So it was. Let's see, one other one. Hang on, I had.
And it wasn't ketchup; it was a tomato in transition.
So I got one more. It said one guy said he traded his $20,000 truck for a $15,000 truck. So in his mind, he made $5,000 in profit. I guess maybe it is a math thing. Maybe it is people that just don't have a thing for math.
Did you sell it for 20,000? Okay.
But that's what I would do. Is I would I want to get rid of stupid. Can we please? Is that too much to ask?
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't know that it's actually stupid. It's more of people misinterpreting things and doing it based on. Well, no, I'm trying to dig deeper than it's just stupid, because I'm like, it's more than that. It's actually that people, they're misinterpreting things. They're doing it for reasons that maybe for like out of fear. Maybe this woman does, or whoever it was, really doesn't like tomatoes and had a bad fear. So now that they say that they're allergic, but ketchup was fine. It was just the real tomatoes that caused problems. So they say they're deathly allergic.
Why are you like this? I mean? Why are you so nice?
I know Ralph gets mad at me all the time. He's like, why are you like that? I don't know. It's just the way I see the world.
But you know what? You got a point. Because going back to this whole, getting rid of selfishness thing is, if we make the effort to actually understand other people, then there'd be so many less arguments and disputes. You would find a way to work out the differences. Mm-hmm. I've been, reluctantly watching social media discussions and watching the bickering in politics. I find it very interesting that the liberal media during the Trump administration just constantly found fault with everything the Trump administration would do, whether it was beneficial or not. There's got to be a problem with it. And then the right-leaning media would be very supportive, and they would support and defend comments and actions that were taken by the administration that, to be perfectly honest with you, everybody should have just stopped and went, what did he just say?
Yeah.
Did you hang on a second?
Hold on. Okay. We need to look at this.
Yeah. It's like, can we? No, but now that we have Joe Biden in office, the roles they're doing the exact same thing, only it's flipped. Yeah. The Democrats now are praising, oh my gosh, did you see that? Everything is wonderful. He's amazing. And the more right-leaning, they're picking on everything, and they're criticizing Biden for things that Trump did. I saw one pundit sitting there talking about all the executive orders already. I'm like, did you notice the ones that Trump made? I'm saying, and Obama and Clinton and W. And it's if you took a moment or two to fully understand and really understand the other person and set down your own biases, the next thing you know, you're actually going to go, oh yeah, you know what, we're guilty of that too, just like you're. What if we tried to work together to end both of these situations? Yeah. And do the right thing.
Or I know why you said that. I know why you feel that way. Maybe you've taken it a step too far because of, I don't know, human emotions like fear or whatever, but we see what you're saying, but let's bring it back and let's talk about it or whatever, but nobody likes to do that because it takes too much time. And, you actually have to respect another person and all the things. So,
yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else that you would want to change? Anything else at all that you would want to change? Like, every household also has a third spigot on every sink in the kitchen. And that third spigot dispensed hot chocolate.
Ooh.
I'm just saying.
I mean, that's a good idea.
Okay. I mean, think about it. You make your coffee in the morning.
Seth, you just have to write all this stuff down. So when you're president, you need to do your executive orders. These are the things, keep
I should
list.
never, ever, ever be president.
No, I don't know.
I should never be president. You know what my foreign policy would be?
Oh, gosh.
Find the guy in North Korea. Bring him over here.
Yeah.
And I would have like all the weird, funky despots sitting out in the lobby, out in the hallway, waiting to come talk to me, right? And they would come in, and I would have a big screen TV right up here on the wall. I'd say, hey, thank you very much for taking a few minutes to come see me. Whether we had to go get them and bring them, doesn't matter. But I'd say, look, I want you to look at it. See up here on the wall. This is a live shot of your capital city. Isn't that beautiful? That's great. Yeah, don't bother asking how we got this live shot, but we do. We got it. See, now I want you to draw your attention over here to this button. See this button I've got right here? This is the button. Now, before the meeting, the special effects people have created a video of their capital city being turned to molten glass, right? Okay. And all I would do is say, listen, I want to show you something. I want you to quit being a selfish dumbass. Okay. That's all. I just want you to stop. Well, I'm not going to do it. Okay. Hit the button up on the video screen and see the same video is playing out in the hallway. So everybody out there, they get to see what just happened. Okay. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye. We'll deal with you later. And he leaves. I got news for you. The next leader that comes in, hey, thanks for stopping by. I'd like you to look up on the big screen. There's your capital city. I know what's going to happen. We're good. What do you think?
No.
What do you think?
No. I'm sorry, Seth. Huh? You don't have my vote. I'm sorry.
You know that would be effective.
No, because they have the same, they have weapons too. And so we don't really want to start that right now.
No, I mean, look, North Korea, they're how they launch their missiles, their attacks with a Bic lighter and a fuse. And next thing you know, off it goes. No, maybe not. But there you go again. I've got this great idea and you're being realistic. What's wrong with you?
I know,
you got to jump on board.
Oh, okay, let's see how she does with my idea.
Uh-oh.
I say all water. I say that there should be gravy fountains in restaurants in case you want to put gravy on your stuff.
I would be okay with that as long as there's a chocolate fountain next to it. Then I would be on board.
Oh,
done.
I like gravy.
For strawberries or whatever else you want to put on.
Okay, that works.
What kind of gravy?
Great.
Well, it could be. Well, it's funny you mentioned that. It could be like different kinds, like different fountain for each. White gravy, brown gravy.
Maybe it changes every day. Today it's beef gravy. Ooh. Tomorrow it may be chicken gravy. Day after, sausage gravy.
Maybe there's just different buttons. So if you want the sausage gravy, you push that button. If you want the beef gravy, whatever, you push the button.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a question. Is Alfredo sauce really a gravy?
No, that's not a gravy, but it's a good sauce. Yeah.
How do you know? It's pasta gravy. It's just a sauce you put over pasta.
Yeah, the Italians do call tomato sauce gravy.
That's right.
Really?
That's right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, you never watched Godfather?
Or Goodfellas?
No, actually.
Goodfellas. Well, it was referred to as gravy in Goodfellas, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You've never seen Goodfellas either?
No.
That's your homework. You got to watch Goodfellas.
Okay.
Goodfellas.
All right. Dale's going to get Disney Plus. I'm going to watch Goodfellas. Okay.
Yeah.
Goodfellas is a great movie. You got to watch it. Uh-oh.
Did we lose
you for a second, Holly? Say it again.
No, I just said compromise.
I was going to say you froze up on us when we lost.
I know the look on her face is just like.
Yeah. Show you with this. We have Zoom meetings. Everybody's doing Zoom meetings, right? Everybody. So we're on air doing a fundraiser. And one of the things that we have people in different areas of our listening, our administration rather, on a Zoom meeting with us in the studio. And so during the breaks or after the breaks, while there's a song playing, we can talk about, what is it that we need to do? What has come in? Where are we with our strategies and goals and so forth? And one of the things that I really do to mess with them is I'll be right in the middle of a sentence and I'll just I'll freeze, and they're like,
"That looked real.
What happened? Yeah. What happened? What happened? Did you?"
Yeah.
And
That's pretty good.
That looked real.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Good job. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure you've practiced a lot.
That's the only talent I have. It's just freezing up and looking absolutely stupid. All right, so that there is actually one thing we can all change. You ready for this? I don't want to wrap everything up in a real pretty bow. I hate that. But the purpose of asking what is it you would change, there is something that we can change. We can work on changing how we treat other people. And that has been the theme of what Holly keeps bringing us back to that. Dale and I are trying to be idiotic about this and have fun with this show. But no. Holly has to keep bringing it back to being serious. But it's true. If we took the time to work on how we treated other people, if we worked on changing that about ourselves, it would have a huge impact. Because think about it. I can't be president and all of a sudden have my finger on the, maybe I could. There's an outside chance I could. But realistically, I can't be president. And I was never be able to do that foreign policy plan that I just talked about. That never happened. We can't have gravy fountains in every restaurant. We can't have a hot chocolate faucet. We can't just snap our fingers and stupid all of a sudden is gone. But starting right now, we can work on how we treat each other. And while I can't do anything to change politics and I can't do anything to change how, GameStop stock is either going up or down this week, I can't do anything about that. But I can do something about how the moment I step outside my door, I treat the person I come in contact with. And I have been really working on that because that is something that I have not cared much about for most of my life.
I used to hate when you treated me like a commoner all the time. I hated that.
A commoner.
Commoner. Well, but we can, and that's the one thing we can change. And it seems like a small, insignificant thing, but think about this. How many times you've been kind of having a grumpy day, right? And something happens, somebody's nice to you, and it has a tendency to change your perspective, right? The other day, I don't know if I shared this previously or not, so forgive me if I have. I'm getting old and I'm starting to repeat myself. But I was driving home from work, and a guy in one of these little hot rod cars, right, cut in front of me to the point where if I hadn't locked up and hit my brakes really hard, I would have hit him. And of course, everything I've got in my front seat, my backpack with all my stuff in it, falls on the floor. And guess what? I'm pissed. Mm-hmm. So what do? I zoom up next to the guy getting ready to express my displeasure. And you know what he does? He apologized. I'm like, wait a minute. What did you just do?
Did you just like wave?
I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. And at first I was like, and I thought about it, I'm like, and I gave him the thumbs. I said, it's okay. I said, it's okay. Thank you for apologizing. It's all good. And it stunned me. As a matter of fact, Dale, did I not call you right then and tell you, you're not going to believe what just happened to me?
You did.
Because Dale and I, we grew up in Florida. And in Florida, that would never happen. Mm-mm. Maybe it's a regional thing. Maybe here in Virginia, people are nice. I don't know. But
yeah, they'll do that here too. Yeah, it might be a cultural thing. Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm in the sucky state.
Well,
but it completely stunned me. But it also had a very positive effect on how the rest of my day went. You know, I went home, hardly kicked the dog, you know.
Yeah, right. You love that dog.
You know,
He even let his daughter eat that night.
I did.
That was very nice.
My kid was like, Dad, I'm hungry. Is it possible to have dinner? I'm like, you know what, honey? I've had a good day. Tonight, you don't have to have sleep for dinner. Tonight, I'll actually give you some food.
Wow.
You know, that's tonight. What the heck? Hey, the guy apologized. What can I say? You know, and we won't even talk about the wife. All right. Let's not even talk about how things went there. But that's the one thing that we can do. So if there's one thing that you take away from the show, other than why have I spent 30 minutes listening to these people? It's do something tomorrow. Do something, just find one way, do something tomorrow to be nice to somebody else and see what happens. Okay? All right. Until next time, have a great rest of your day, weekend, week, whatever it is. Enjoy, be nice to somebody, and we'll talk to you again next time. Take care, everybody. See ya.